We start round 6 with a new yarn, color B, around the last cluster of any repeat before the group of 7 single crochets of round 5. So I selected this side, and this is the last cluster before the group of single crochets. Front post single crochet around the cluster. Done. Then a single crochet in every single crochet of the round 5, 7 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 single crochets are done. Then a front loop single crochet around the first cluster. Oops. Front loop single crochet around the first cluster. Then 4 single crochets in chain 2. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once again, front post single crochet around the cluster, and this time 5 single crochets in chain 2. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Front post single crochet around the next cluster, and 4 single crochets in chain 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and front post single crochet around the last cluster of the group. Our first repetition is done. Here we are. See you at the end of the round. Here we are, and the final stitch, a slip stitch in a front post single crochet. Done. In round 7, we continue working with the same color, color B. Chain 2 and a cluster of 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Done. Actually, this combination of chain 2 and cluster of 2 double crochets counts as a cluster of 3 double crochets. Chain 1. We skip the next stitch and a cluster of 3 double crochets in the next one and this one. Done. We continue repeating clusters. We need to make 3 more. Chain 1, skipping next stitch, and a cluster in the next one. Cluster of 3 double crochets. 2, 3, pulling yarn through all the loops. Cluster is done. Chain 1. Skipping next stitch and a cluster in the next one. Done. Chain 1 and the last cluster of 3 double crochets that falls into a front post single crochet made in the cluster. So we skip this stitch and our last cluster and this one. Three. Oops. Done. So we should have 5 clusters of 3 double crochets in total. Then chain 2. We are skipping 2 next stitches, and then in every single stitch of round 6 we make a single crochet. There should be 11 single crochets in total. So I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 single crochets, and skipping 2 next single crochets, chain 2 and a cluster of 3 double crochets in the next stitch. Our first repetition is done. So we need to do 5 clusters of 3 double crochets, chain 1 between them, and skipping also 1 stitch from round 6. Then chain 2, skipping 2 stitches of round 6, 11 single crochets in a row in each stitch from the round 6, chain 2, skipping 2 stitches from round 6, and the first double crochet, first cluster of 3 double crochets in the next stitch, which is a front post single stitch from round 6. See you at the end of the row. Round 7 is nearly ready. We need to make the final chain 2 and a slip stitch into the standing cluster of 3 double crochets. Please cut the yarn, secure the ends, because round 8 will be made of another color. We start round 8 with a new yarn, color A, with a standing front post single crochet around the first cluster. Here we are. Then a single crochet in chain 1, and then we continue repeating front post single crochet around the cluster and a single crochet in chain 1, front post single crochet in chain 1. Let's keep repeating. Done. 2 single crochets in chain 2. then a single crochet in each of single crochets of round 7, 11 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see. And 2 single crochets in chain 2. Front post single crochet around the first cluster. Our repetition is done. So we do a front post single crochet around each of the clusters. We make 1 single crochet in chain 1. We make 2 single crochets in chain 2, a single crochet in each single crochet of round 7, 2 single crochets in chain 2, and then continue working with clusters. See you at the end of the round. We are nearly done. Slip stitch in the first front post single crochet, and we are ready. Round 9, we continue with color A, so we don't cut the yarn. Round 9, with the same yarn, we make chain 1. It doesn't count as a stitch. Single crochet in the same stitch. Then a single crochet in next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Done. Then we skip 2 stitches, and in the next one we are making a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Done. Chain 2, and 1 more cluster of 3 double crochets in the next stitch. 2, 3, 1 more cluster of 2 double crochets. Chain 2, we skip the next stitch, and in the next one we are doing a cluster of 3 triple crochets. Let's pay attention. We are starting clusters of 3 triple crochets. Okay, our cluster is done. Chain 2. Again, we skip the next stitch. We skip the next stitch and a cluster of 3 triple crochets in the next one. 1, 2. Done. Again chain 2, and the last cluster of 3 triple crochets, we skip 1 stitch, and in the next one we are doing our cluster triple crochet made of triple crochets. 3 triple crochets. Our cluster is done. Chain 2, we skip the next stitch, and now a cluster of 3 double crochets. Ready? One more time, chain 2, and again a cluster of 3 double crochets. As you can see, we have 2 clusters of 3 double crochets, then 3 clusters of 3 triple crochets, and again 2 clusters of 3 double crochets. We skip next 2 stitches and a single crochet in the next one. Our first repetition is done. We keep doing in the next repetition single crochets, 8 single crochets. See you at the end of this round. Round 9 is nearly done. The last element is slip stitch in the first single crochet, in a standing single crochet of the round. Ready. I love the square, and actually you could be pretty satisfied with the first 9 rounds, but we will keep going. We have 9 more rounds because this square is pretty big, nice and fancy. See you in the next part of the video.